few case about Riga. Riga is the capital of Republic of Latvia, and we have more than 600,000 inhabitants. And Riga is a Riga Historic Center is under UNESCO heritage. As more cities, Riga have a huge metropolitan area, and this metropolitan area have a high level of car ownership. And we have our Riga and Riga metropolitan area have amount of trips in commuting trips from and to the neighborhood. So that's why it is necessary to change our planning paradigm, and Riga working together with this Riga planning region. And the second part of my presentation will present my colleague from Riga planning region, Rūdolfs Cimdiņš, Riga planning region head of special planning department. And why we need to change our planning paradigm. And also GEL Architect Bureaus provides us 5 pillars that we need to collaborate together with the surrounding areas, surrounding metropolises. For this, we decided to redevelop our transport simulation model. That is the decision-making tool. For this, we organize household survey. We asked approximately more than 5,000 households. We organize auto counting in 50 points and compile all this data. We create 2 scenarios: the current situation and the mobility vision, our future infrastructure development, and we will analyze and compare all these scenarios. In future, the model will help us to analyze the general mobility indicator, analyze the public transport system, and also evaluate scenarios. Moreover, it will be interesting to analyze the environmental indicator. Our project partners, Baltic Environment Forum in Latvia, create the 4 levels of mobility hubs and also prepare the service levels for these levels. And it's all activities go through, and we will working in a regional level and participate in different regional projects for this mobility hub implementation. So, as I mentioned before, the second speaker is Rūdolfs Cimdiņš, and he will present more about the SUMBA project results implementation in the Riga metropolitan area.
Hi, hello to everyone from Riga planning region. I will continue a story about SUMBA project, and actually not only about SUMBA project but also about other projects regarding transport and mobility concerning Riga and Riga metropolitan area development. And I would like to say that it's not only about actually cooperation, it's about building like a stakeholder platform in wider scale than only Riga city, but also surrounding municipalities around capital. And actually, thanks to SUMBA project, we also made some kind of stakeholder workshops also jointly with the other projects, with NSB core project, where we were shaping Riga metropolitan area mobility spatial vision. Also Baltic Loop project, which is focusing mostly on east and western connections in central Baltic region, and we discussed about Riga metropolitan area and possibilities of development of mobility hubs. So actually it's a rather intense communication between different stakeholders in Riga metropolitan area. About results and activities we performed, actually thanks to SUMBA and other projects I mentioned before, we started shaping Riga metropolitan area. So it means defining territory of the functional area of Riga city, and we took into account such characteristics as the territorial coverage or distance from capital city, daily commuting intensity, which differs a lot actually in Riga metropolitan area territory. Also population change differences in different parts around capital, organization of public transport and availability of public services in Riga and in the whole metropolitan area. And actually we defined 3 metropolitan spaces, core area or inner metropolis of capital city, outer metropolis territory, and direct impact territory. And after that we elaborated also a mobility plan for this territory and also action plan not only regarding mobility theme but also others, and these 3 different spaces of Riga metropolitan area how to say have different actions defined in the different activities, not only mobility. Well, it's not only about internal accessibility of the metropolitan area from our side. We're also looking at external accessibility issues, and we defined international scale development interests of Riga metropolitan area, and also analyzed internal accessibility principles in Riga city, in bordering parts of Riga city and other municipalities. And we elaborated an integrated vision of metropolitan transport system, which includes railway as a basis in this transport system, roads as a support, public transport, mobility points, cycling, waterways, micromobility, and also air traffic as international accessibility kind of transport. So actually this mobility vision includes all these kind of transport, and we are looking forward for how to say implementation of this strategy in regional scale and to have included also in national scale policies. Maybe some results from Riga metropolitan area mobility spatial vision. Some examples, one regarding perspective rail track structure in the region. Actually, it will completely change after implementation of the Rail Baltica project. We will have a, let's say, brand new, previously non-existing line in the metropolitan area, which will perform not only as international accessibility infrastructure, but also boosting inner mobility in the metropolitan area. And we are looking forward to see also regional stops on this line, which will completely change everyday commuting to Riga city and back to different parts of the region. Another topical theme is regarding perspective regional cycling tracks in this metropolitan area mobility spatial vision. We defined like main and most important directions for these regional cycling tracks, and now we're working on understanding actual situation, how infrastructure looks like, where it is, where it's not present, and we are building, let's say, a common platform for these regional cycling tracks perspective development. And we will participate as a Riga planning region in a SUMBA Plus extension project. So we are really looking forward for the continuation of this project, so we can move forward with this cycling theme in a wider scale in the metropolitan area. And after all, Evelina mentioned and previous speakers and me in my presentation, I would like to say that we are moving towards a sustainable urban mobility plan process, and we are uniting existing experiences of Riga city, Riga region, other stakeholders, and we want to start this SUMBA elaboration process together with Riga city, with the region and other stakeholders, and focus it not only on capital city Riga, but in a wider scale, taking into account also Riga metropolitan area. And we can use existing cooperation and also memorandum of understanding, which was signed at the end of last year between Riga and surrounding municipalities. We are working actively with different projects in this metropolitan scale, and we will continue collaboration with local municipalities and other stakeholders in Riga metropolitan area territory. And we hope that the commuting master plan of SUMBA can also help us for developing such kind of activities. So thank you very much, and looking forward.